All right, everybody. It is what is the date today? The 11th, March 11th. The market just closed here. Just want to show you guys what's happening. So, one that I'm actually in right now holding overnight is Spce. And the reason I'm in this is if you look on the daily chart, getting pretty close to being oversold. We've had a lot of downside to this from the top. This 42 is a high. Well, down about 62%. All right, but I'm looking at is we have really good support here at about 1541, as you can see here at the line. Pretty good support there. We came off a bounce. That was really the only support on the way down. So I'm going to go and zoom in for you guys. But as you can see in the 6-hour chart, oversold. You can see the support that we're basically at right now. 4 hours oversold on the RSI. Pretty much every single chart, multiple charts all the way down to the hourly. 30 minutes, we were oversold here. 15-minute, we were oversold. So, I mean, it's looking like a pretty, and look, we're bouncing right after that resistance here. Right, so about up 4%. So, what I'm looking at is a pretty good bounce. I'm looking at possibly this would be the top, that would be the bottom, and then we're going to an equilibrium pattern with a lower high somewhere below 42, 49. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. We had a couple other really good ones like INO here. This morning really ran up, and then we had this dip here at about 691. And if you would have bought that, you're looking at a 22% gain when we got kind of oversold on the 2-minute. Did we get oversold on the 5-minute? Let's take a look. We did not get oversold on the 5-minute. We did the on the day yesterday. But so INO is reporting earnings tomorrow. So we'll see how that kind of goes, kind of maybe pre-market or so. But we had a triple top here, 850 triple top, and end of the day we just barely passed that, and then came right back down. So it would be interesting to see what happens after hours. Was it a fake out, or is it going to confirm that breakout? Because what happens, the more time it comes up and cannot break out, when it actually does, you're going to see a pretty good run. So that's something for you guys to look at too, if that is in fact a confirmed breakout. I haven't looked at after hours yet, but something to definitely keep an eye on when you're looking at a breakout as of that, something like that. So as INO, Mrna, looks like we also had this big gap up for the day. But yeah, so what I see here is in the mornings, basically have a high, and then we come back down, and then once the breakout occurred here. So, that's what you want to look for, is these breakouts. If you would have bought that breakout, you could have sold for about 8% gain. Even here is about 6% gain. And then we came down and pretty much bounced off of this breakout, as you can see here. So that's you had another buy signal here as we're bouncing off of that. Another 4% gain. But now we're made a lower high and a lower low, so that's definitely not looking good there on the chart. I'm going to zoom out. Kind of choppy, but you are still in that kind of the equilibrium pattern playing out. If with the and the Dow and everything is down quite a bit today, so that's usually when those stocks are down, these go up. But you can see with the high, and then we have a low here. So we're looking at to come up and establish a lower high. So that's what I'm looking at on Mrna. We have CODX as well, which had a pretty good run up today. Let's take a look. But yeah, again, you had this breakout here, and then you would be looking at like a 16% gain there, and if you would have held, you'd also have 24% gain there. And then we came up and established another 1250. As you can see, we broke out, consolidated a little bit, and then once we took off from there, we saw about another 12% gain. So it's definitely these short little gains that 10% profit in like 10-15 minutes is definitely a good gain. And then we came down, established a lower high. Then we quickly came back up, but I think the real plays, the safer plays, were on these breakouts that we saw kind of intraday on CODX. Going to zoom out, look at the daily. Daily, you have the high, a low. Now anything pretty much below this high here is just a lower high. So we have the high and the low. So those are our ranges. We're about mid-range right now. So we'll see what the lower high will be, and if we're continuing equilibrium pattern, we'll just watch these kind of patterns play out. Another one is Spex, Spex. But yeah, you had that huge run up this morning, right? It's like a 52% gain, and then a huge drop, and then a bounce. Not looking like a good buy now. Pretty much, if you could get anywhere in this morning, what you'd be looking at is these breakouts. So we had the breakout there of the high, and then we had a small breakout there. So I mean, obviously the first breakout in the morning here would have been your best play if you weren't in it yet. You would have made about 18% gain there. So it's kind of what I'm looking at going in tomorrow. I'm liking probably the two that I'm liking the best is INO and Spce. Those would definitely be the two that I'd be watching. I'm gonna look after hours to see if this thing is breaking out, and then Spce, like I said, is just super oversold in multiple time frames. It's been going down for a while. So and resistance there, so I can see a pretty good dip. So it's going to be interesting what's going to happen and kind of after hours pre-market and going into the morning. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.